Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Cleaning process or dust freeing process. Somebody had the idea of putting rugs in the doorways, and it's kind of at least one of them so far. I think two of them are missing. The neoprene on the bottom of the automatic door bottom. And you guys sell like a replacement neoprene?
So what happened, so you've got a National Guard 422N, that's a mortise automatic door bottom. What happened is when they changed the effective undercut, all of a sudden that thing's pushing down really hard with a compressed spring, and because it can't drop far enough, as you open that door, it's just dragging across the floor, so it probably damaged it. So
the neoprene's not really made for that, yeah.
It's not made to be
replaced.
used. The neoprene is not made to wipe across the floor. It's just meant to come down and compress.
Yeah.
But you absolutely hit the target. The neoprene is not, and I've spoken to National Guard about this. It is not serviceable in the field. That is put in during the manufacturing process. They have, and because I've had this call in the past, they've told me.
Oh,
that
you
it's not
have?
possible.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It's not the neoprene. Replacing the neoprene on that model is not a field serviceable thing, and the only suggestion they have is to order a new automatic door bottom.
Now, let me ask you this, because with these what I'm finding with the, kind of a live and learn for our owners here. So right now it's kind of a flush threshold, just barely 1/8 inch sitting on top of a hardwood floor, or kind of a floating floor. But I noticed the first, we've got 17 condos here. I mean, they're really expensive condos, but the first people that have moved in, they've been kind of our guinea pigs. They kind of like being our guinea pigs, I think. But so they put like an area rug in the entryway, and it looks to me like when that thing goes to retract, it doesn't really retract fast enough to once it's all the way open, it'll retract all the way. But it goes to about 15 degrees before it really pops up, and part of it drags on that rug. And I'm wondering, because National Guard, they have this. It's a little bit more expensive. Well, I don't know if it's a little bit or a lot more expensive, but a 682. It's got a brush and a rubber bulb. That might be a better product.
It might be. I don't think it's going to solve the problem. Here's without that will not solve the problem. That's for a different. That actually might be a better application. That will be a better application when you have carpet, rug, some sort of surface other than hardwood or tile, etc. So here's the bottom line. There is a bolt, for all intents and purposes, let's call it a bolt, sticking out of the edge of the unit on the hinge side of the door. That bolt can be turned clockwise or counterclockwise. The more you thread it clockwise, the more it goes into the housing, and vice versa when you turn it back out. Right. The amount of projection is directly related to the amount of drop of the drop bar. When you initially install that, they're going to set the position of the bolt so that you make contact with the floor, and it's good. Right. But when you stick something underneath there, what have you done? You have effectively changed the undercut, which means you can put the rug there, but you've got to readjust the bolt so it only comes a little bit.
Yeah.
So when you have all that undue pressure on the spring, and then you go to open it, the spring is under compression, and you've gone from 0 to 10 degrees, and you are still not coming back into the housing. That's why the problem's happening.
Yeah, that 10 degree, that's what it is. And I was watching it, that we tried putting that neoprene back in the thing, and it was just getting shredded. Weren't having much luck, which obviously about. But I noticed it was in there. I mean, we did get it back in. It was in pieces by the time we got it back in, but we got it back in. But when you go to open that door, so it seals, and then like you say, but it's just the rug that they have anyway. I don't know. We may have to tell people they have to limit the size of their rugs. But the rug that they had, which is about a half-inch thick, 3/8 inch thick. I didn't measure it, but it's not flat. It's not it's definitely not like a 3/16 or anything. It just barely, at about 10 degrees, 10, 15 degrees, it would catch it. And then after that, it's retracted all the way. And so it's just that's why I'm wondering, maybe that nylon brush, since it's only that little, distance where it's rubbing against it across the top of that, maybe that would handle it better. The neoprene obviously just grabs it, and it's not made for that kind of.
So any obstacle behind the door with any automatic door bottom is going to prove to be the same problem. Now, with your 682, you might be able to get away with it because the brush those two brush hang down a little bit longer than that feature that's between the two. That's a piece of solid aluminum.
That's like
so that's a security feature to help prevent someone from sticking something underneath there. So no. So the bottom line is to have a rug behind there. If you decrease how much it drops to get over the rug, you're then not going to seal the door when it's in the closed position. So this is you've got to use a real thin rug.
Oh boy. Yeah, and that's okay. Well, that makes that if that's aluminum, and that's a whole different, because those brushes will end up wearing off. Like you say, it won't end up doing anything.
Right.
And I wonder if the one in the middle, then that 522N with that rubber, is that a rubber? Well, it says it's neoprene too. So does that mean it's sort of a thin?
It's a hollow tube.
It's a hollow tube. Would that hold up, do you think?
Well, you have to, so the unit will immediately start to retract as soon as the door opens on the lock side because it doesn't drop and retract evenly. It would act like the shape of a guillotine, although it would be more like scissors at your axis point, and it would knife down. So the issue is you'll clear it at the lock side, but on your hinge side, you're still going to have it towards the hinge side, the center of the door and towards the hinge side. You're still going to have conflict. If the rug was pulled back, what they should do is test how far back they have to hold the rug. Hold it back 6 inches and see what happens. Obviously they're having it right up in front of the door, just like my house.
Yeah.
So there is another product.
Yeah.
There is another product. It's not nearly as elegant, but it's intended to mitigate this problem. And it's not by National Guard, only because the great people at National Guard don't make this item. And I have to pull up what that part number is. So let me get the book up. So as I'm pulling the catalog up, this is a surface-mounted door sweep. It's surface-mounted on the outside. When the door gets pushed to the closed position, it will take the articulating door sweep and force it to seal down because it's spring-loaded. When you open the door, it kicks back up, and it will allow you to clear the rug condition. But, of course, it's going to take me a moment to find that part number. But it'll be worth it. You'll be able to go back to your people and say, okay, here are some options. Let's see. The answer might be just to hold the rug back a bit so that the thing can snap up into its housing.
he? Oh, I thought it was just gonna be Brand. Oh, who's coming? Oh, oh, good. Okay. Trying to get these automatic door bottoms worked out. Sure. Yeah. At one time they were thinking of using the 420N, which is like a half mortise.
That would only exacerbate the problem. Well, no, it would be on the push side, so it would marginally improve because you're moving that point of seal, 3/4 of an inch, not even, away.
Gives you a little bit more room to work.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm definitely coming up with performance anxiety here, because I sell this funny sweep about twice a year, and I don't remember the part number. So what I'll do is I'll find it, and I will email it to you.
Okay.
So provided they haven't discontinued it, they actually may have. So we'll find out. So that's why you're having those problems.
Yeah.
You might just try to hold the rug back because those automatic door bottoms are very elegant solutions. Plus, your doors are already mortised for them. You could go with, I don't see any reason to change the insert at all because it just gives you the same problem because you still have to drop far enough to seal, but then retract up high enough to clear the rug. The variable that should be played with is the distance of the rug from the door and the thickness of the rug. I wouldn't play with the door bottom at all because you won't yield any advantage short of a different insert that will tolerate the contact better.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the long version of that. What is your email? And I'll send you over a link to this item.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program.